Darren D-Nill Williams will be the reason why this net team will have an underwhelming season, and he will be the reason why that as long as he's around, they will be an underachieving team. This piece of shit dog, this pathetic excuse for an elite point guard, this piece of shit point guard entered the game at 15-12 yesterday. 15-12. And proceeded to turn the ball over 3 times, 3 unforced turnovers, all leading to buckets on the other end. This piece of dog shit point guard had 4 turnovers in 31 minutes and 1 assist. This is your elite point guard, 14 points. 14 points, 1 assist, 4 turnovers. Of course, this same piece of dog shit was the reason that they lost the Raptor game, all by himself. And as I said at the time, I thought the Raptor game was a must victory because you knew you were coming into 2 juggernauts in the form of Oklahoma City and, of course, Indiana, which will be a duplicate. And just for shits and giggles, Indiana goes and gets Bynum. Of course, he won't play tonight. But, yeah, we lost a 7-footer who's out for the year, so we didn't need to talk to Bynum. I don't get it. I understand you got maybe some chemistry stuff. Maybe you felt a little uncomfortable bringing Bynum in, but how about not even talking to the guy? How about not even talking to the guy? Here he's going to the Pacers now. Going to the Pacers. You don't have a big guy. Whatever. Let me not get crazy on that. But let me get crazy on Darren friggin' D-Nill, who I believe, I don't know if I've hated a player more than I've hated one of my own. I mean, I've got issues, as we all know. I've got anger issues. And I've got issues with hatred of my players. Never in my lifetime have I hated a player more than I hate this Darren Williams. I can't stand watching him play this game. He comes into the game. He loses the dribble. He loses the dribble at half court. Fisher banks, throws a lob to Ibaka. Then he throws this pass across into the first row, and then he's dribbling to the basket, and he just loses the ball. This is an elite. I'm going to show you all 3 of these plays. In fact, let me shut up now. Take a look. Take a look at these.
The run is now 11-0 Oklahoma City. And Williams loses the ball, taken away by Fisher. Cut by Ibaka. And the stuff. Saved that time by Joe Johnson. Got his hand in there to strip Jones. So off the Oklahoma City turnover, Williams. Williams has looked off. Williams trying to get around Lamb. He turns it over. And Darren Williams is out of sorts.
Now you tell me. You tell me what elite point guard. You tell me what elite point guard that you've ever imagined. You see Magic Johnson? I know he's not mad. Shut up. But you know what? Listen, the dude is paid $98 million. He's paid to be a star. He's paid to be a star. You tell me if you ever see Chris Paul do that in 1 quarter. What you just saw. Would you ever? I understand guys have bad games. This guy does it all the time. He does this all the time. Bob, you guys got destroyed. What are you blaming? Because that was the tone. He comes in. He's supposed to provide a little spark. What does he do? He takes it from a slow leak to a gash in the tire. That's what he does. That's what he is. He's paid $98 million, and he's not a leader. He's overweight. He's got a puss face that you want to punch. He's not a winner. He does bad things with the basketball. Sure, he can shoot the ball. Jimmy Cole made a great point. Every now and then he'll razzle you with a busting ankle crossover. But you look at this bum's body of work since he's been here. He's a disaster. He's a disaster. I would do everything in my power to shop him in the offseason. Man, anything. I'll take back nothing. Give me expiring contracts. Get him out of here. He is not a leader. He will never be. He will never be a leader. Do you understand that? You keep saying, Stephen A. keeps saying, oh, man can ball. This man, when he played, no, he's never going to be a leader. Never. He will be remembered this season for the play that turned their season around. Here they are riding high, about to beat the Toronto Raptors, about to climb within a half game. Now all of a sudden it's 3.5. 3.5. It was a direct cat. A guy turns the ball over twice in the last 2 minutes of the game against the Raptors, and he comes in and turns it over 3 consecutive times, total of 4, and he has 1 assist. Forget all the other shit. I understand that they were pathetic from start to finish. Believe me. I'm great. Happy birthday, Kenny Drago. You'll be forever remembered your birthday on the day the most putrid rebounding performance in the history of the league happened on your birthday. 4 rebounds a quarter it comes to. Wow. Can you imagine? 63% shooting. I understand Durant. Nobody can guard him. But I didn't realize Ibaka was a 12 for 12 type player. He was tonight. Absolute disgraceful effort. And listen, if you thought that they were going to have this tremendous bounce back based on that devastating defeat that they had against Toronto, yeah, you're a fluffernutter. Listen, I watched the game. I hoped for that. But, man, I felt like shit instantly. It was 16 to 15 or whatever, and I was like, oh, boy. I text my boy Jimmy Cole. I think they scored 7 of their first 8. I said, this is going to be a 130-point night for Oklahoma. And, of course, I was wrong. It was only 120. And all I think about is my guy comes in, my $98 million guy, in a 15-12 game, and his presence leads it to a 30-16 at the end of 1. My $98 million. And, of course, there's this all-star, Joe Johnson. And I'll tell you what, this is why, I almost want some Net fans not to follow me. I really do. I would prefer that some Net fans don't watch the BK Netscap, because in the words of Jack Nicholson, you can't handle the truth. The truth. You're giving me, I'm going on these Nets things, Joe Jesus. What are you, shitting me? Joe Jesus. I understand the implication. He's amazing at the end of games. I can't deny that. So I'm not picking on you, Joe Jesus. But, I'm assuming Jesus did more than just his Last Supper. I'm assuming he was famous for a little more than that. And that's what freaking Joe Johnson is about the last minute of games and quarters. 9 points. 4 for, that's good shoot. Where are you, Joe? Where are you? Where are you? Your team could have used a guy to counter. And instead I got Sean Livingston scoring 10 points in the first quarter. Scored 16, Livingston. Where are you, Joe? You've now averaged 9 points a game for the last 5. Coming off of 25 a game for the last 6. And before that, 7 games with averaging 7. And he's an all-star. It's a disgrace that he's an all-star. I'm embarrassed. He should be embarrassed. Of course he's going to go. He's going to take a bat. Lance Stevenson, who would probably be maybe the 5th or 6th MVP in the year, is not going to the all-star game. And Joe is going. Kyle Lowry, who absolutely friggin' dominated the shit out of the Nets the other night, basically friggin' won the game by himself. He's not going. Joe Johnson's going. 9 points for Joe. I believe it's the 4th straight game in single digits. All-star. What are you, 6'7", all-star. Bullshit. Of course, putrid night by everybody. Once you know Karolinko's not playing, any coincidence that this was a 2013 type loss? What happened in 2013? Well, we lost by 20 almost every night. Home or away, didn't matter. Well, guess what? Karolinko did not play. in 2013. And once you knew Karolinko wasn't playing, you're like, okay, forget it. Blowout, and he's probably not going to play tonight. Another blowout. They don't guard. They don't defend. Without him, they're just, for some reason, the whole team becomes pathetic. You know, Garnett was the 2013 Garnett, a whopping 0 points and 1 rebound. I know he only played 12 minutes. Yeah, Pierce 10 points. Allen Anderson, who misses so many shots, was 1 for 4 from 3-point range. 5 points. I mean, it was a disaster. Mirza was terrible. Dratch was bad. And he looks like he might even be hurt. But I go back to the big guy. I go back to my boy, D-Nill. 15-12, enters the game and coughs it up 3 times. And then goes to the ref to discuss it. 3 unforced turnovers that turned it from a decent close game. You know, maybe you hang around. Maybe you stay within 7, 8. Nope. You're down 14 points at the end of one on your way to a 30-point debacle. And same exact feeling. Amazing how that one motherfucking thrown ball away. That one, I said this to my boy Jimmy. I believe that play, that game, that Raptor game, will be as symbolic to the Nets in February as symbolic as the Oklahoma City win was for us in January. So hopefully I'm wrong, but you look at what's coming up. And let's see if there's not a massive carryover effect of that throwaway, of that ridiculous, immature, insane turnover. A play that you would never in your lifetime see an elite player make. Throwing the ball into the backcourt for an easy interception. Never will you see an elite player do that. Well, let's see if I'm wrong, but I believe that play will be a direct, the end of that game will be a direct indication and a projection of what we're going to see in February. We could be, listen, I thought after this run in January, I was pretty confident that we were going to end up with the 3 seed. Actually now, you know what, I don't know if we're catching Toronto, boys. Toronto went into Denver, and I know Denver's depleted. No Nate, no Ty Lawson, no Gallinari. But they went and smacked. They were up 20 in that game. I mean, they went into Denver and smoked them. They got 4 more tough games on this trip. They you know, I'm not saying the Raptors are great, but boy, do they look good. Boy, do you like, when DeRozan came back, you like Lowry, DeRozan, Ross, developing into a nice player. This Valanciunas is a tough center. The Vasquez kid is good. He's got a little swagger to him. The Toronto Raptors are a good basketball team. And obviously they're well coached. I don't know if we're catching them. We're now 3.5 behind them. And, you know, according to the way things look, according to schedule experts, people believe that the Raptors have the easiest schedule the rest of the way. And us, you know, we have Darren Williams to look forward to. Someone asked at the press conference, are you going to, now that you struggle a little bit, you're going to start Darren Williams? What does that mean? You mean something wrong with what Sean Livingston's do? 6 of 8, 16 points, 4 rebounds, 3 steals, and an assist, and no turnovers? Something wrong with that? Something wrong with what Livingston's doing? If anything, if you're going to bring Williams back into the starting lineup, put Anderson on the bench, because I'm pretty much tired of him missing open jump shots. If you're going to bring Williams back to start, Anderson's got to go to the bench. Awful, disgusting performance. I do not expect to be competitive tonight. I'll be shocked if we are. Great that Indiana lost their last game to the Suns, so they'll be pissed. And just think if Stevenson was going to have a little chip on his shoulder after being told he's not an all-star, but Joe Johnson is. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. I'm sure Joe's going to be fired up, and Joe's going to come out like a tiger that he is, and he's going to take it. Yeah, okay. Okay, paging number 7. Paging David Blaine. Paging David Blaine. Please return to the court. There's a game going on. Leave me alone.